If at the moment you sit down to work only to find your mind wandering, or you can never sit down to focus for any substantial period of time, then you've come to the right place. I'm Salim, I've just finished medical school, but I've been at university for the last 8 years, and I've learned how to build my attention span so that I can consistently study and also do everything else that's important to me. And when it comes to attention span, people see it as a trait that you have, and that you either have a good one or a bad one. But it's obviously not as simple as that, because through years of building my own attention span, I found that there are two ways of developing it: psychological and practical. So there are internal changes you can make and external changes too. So let's start with talking about the psychological ways, the internal mindsets that build your attention span. So first, the biggest mistake I see people make is seeing your attention span as a biological trait that can't change, like your height or eye color. But that's not true. It's easy to see that your attention span gets way worse when you spend more time on your phone. You need to realize that your attention span is not a trait, it's a skill. The more you practice focusing, the better your attention span would be. You need to get rid of that limiting belief that you have a short attention span, because otherwise that's who you will be for the rest of your life. Treat yourself like a video game character that you can upskill, and your attention span is one of these skills. And now the second mindset about building your attention span is just as important. You need to realize that having a good attention span is not when you just sit down and you only think about work and nothing else. Nobody will tell you this, but everyone's mind wanders when they work. No matter how productive or successful, your mind is designed to create new thoughts to consider all the complex things going on in your life. They're like reminders to keep tabs on everything. It's how we've survived for so long as a species. Our mind keeps tabs on things that aren't even there, but unfortunately that's what distracts us a lot. Now the key thing to realize is that improving your attention span is not about removing these distracting thoughts. It's about your ability to return to your current task as soon as possible. The difference between someone who has a good attention span and someone who doesn't isn't just that one gets distracting thoughts and the other doesn't. It's that the good attention span person can return their focus more quickly back to the original task. So your attention span is about returning to the task and not about removing all your thoughts. So once you get these two mindset shifts to build your attention span internally, there are two practical things you can do today that can build your attention span skill through practice. So the easiest behavior to improve your attention span is to use your phone less. Organize a time when you go on your phone to reply to messages or do other things, but other than that window, leave your phone somewhere else. Don't use your phone on breaks because it reinforces a switching habit, and you don't want to give yourself any more distraction than your mind already creates by itself. And whenever you have an urge or distracting thought when you should be studying, keep a physical note of these thoughts so you can come back to them later if necessary. Now for a quick update, I'm working on building an online course and community and would highly appreciate your feedback and input. So check out the links in the description. It would help me out a lot if you would provide some feedback in terms of what you find helpful from my videos and what you feel would help even more as part of a course or community. Thank you in advance, and now back to the video. And now the next behavior is there to actively boost your attention span, and that is through meditation. And this is a specific meditation that works with studying. You don't have to become a yogi in the mountains. Meditation is just focusing on your breath. And when you get a thought, letting it go and returning to your breath. You can see how this is exactly what you need to do when you're working. When you get a thought, let it go and go back to the original task. Just in meditation that the task is focusing on your breath, which is convenient because you can do it anywhere and anytime. You can start small with just 5 to 10 minutes, and at first you realize how many thoughts you get. But then it gets easier and easier, and you'll see how studying gets easier and easier too. So those are the psychological and practical ways that I've used to build my attention span. But once you've learned to focus, you also need to learn how to study effectively. So in this video here, I explain how I use AI to study any topic as fast as possible, and it will be helpful for you even if you know nothing about AI. So click the video to learn more.